when you're ready to write something in your script file, you will be writing some code. You're giving instructions to R as far as what you want it to do. The other thing that you'll be writing is comments. Comments are instructions to the humans so they understand what is going on. So what I'll do is I'll start off with a comment over here, and it is going to start with this pound sign. So like the hashtag. And that tells R, anything following this, don't run. And I'm going to say, I'm going to read in some data. And I'm just telling myself, I'm telling my lab partner, I'm telling whomever might be reading this as a human, that is what this next line of code is going to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to call my data, I'm not going to call it data, I'm going to call it data frame, so DF for short. And then I'm going to assign it, there's another video on that, don't worry, something called mtcars. This is just a data set that lives within R. And I can run that, and then I see it pop up over here in that environment window. The way that I ran this is I can have my cursor anywhere on this line of code and hit Control Enter, and it will run that line of code. I could also highlight it and hit Control Enter, and it will run that line of code. Or I can have it highlighted and I can come over here and click Run. So it says run the current line or selection, and then in parentheses it has Control and Enter. So it's kind of telling you what that shortcut is. But as I go on, I would continue with comments to kind of tell the humans what's going on, and then the lines of code. So within R, with the syntax, it is case sensitive. So here I've made this thing called DF. If I later try to go this and have capital DF, R is going to tell me this thing does not exist. You are crazy. I don't know what you're talking about, because it's not the same capitalization as the original. However, spacing does not matter in R. So I could have just as easily gone like this and gotten the same exact result. So there's no space in between here. Whether or not you choose to do a space is entirely up to you. It is not right or wrong. My personal opinion is that having some spaces in here makes it easier for humans to understand what's going on. But it absolutely makes no difference as far as if R understands what's going on. So for example, if we wanted to test this theory, we could do 2 plus 5 and run that. And then down here in our console, it says, oh, hey, 2 plus 5 is 7. But we could also do 2 space plus space 5. Oops, space 5, like that. And highlight that, run that, look down here and say, oh, hey, still 2 plus 5, and it's still 7. So spacing, not important. Capitalization, crucial. Spelling, also crucial. So as you go along, you'll notice I try to always use a comment to talk to the humans, and then I use my code to talk to R.